So let's do some prayers to begin. So we're in the wheel of life. I am. Today I am. We're caught in this cycle and it's continually perpetuating. It's kind of like this endless loop is the feeling we want to have. And I know that we all do feel that, you know, things come up over and over again. Every time before a class, my printer shuts down. Every time, over and over again. You wonder why, you know, and how can you break it? How do you break it?
Find out.
We'll find out. We have great instructions and a great ancient instructions that have worked for many, for 2,000 more years. So it's a feeling though that why you even feel that spinning around and around, because there is no beginning. Like how do you even, it's like, you know, those the rats, the mice that go on that wheel around and around and around, and even when they get out they're in a cage. Yeah, they're back on the cycle around, and that's what we're doing. That's really what we're doing. And it's constant, and like I said, even when you do get off, there's a certain kind of feeling like, well, how far can I go? And that's the way our cycle of existence just works. And the thing is that we go into another life just like that. Not only this one, and not only the small cycles in this life, another life will be the same. And how do we get there? You know, it's like that sense of beginningless, which is very hard to understand. You know, the chicken, the egg, which came first. I don't know. I mean, you can meditate for a long time about that. There's always a previous cause, the link before. And you have to think why, and that is why it's hard for us to break it. There's like that macrocosmic, you know, cycle. You know, we go through a very short life, constantly aware that there's something, we are aware that we're going to die in the end. I don't know, maybe someone here doesn't, but it's, we're thinking about it. We don't sit and think about it consciously, but every single day, deep down inside of us, we know there's no escape from that. We're going to die in the end. We know where we're headed. And it's something that's really deep within us, because we're not thinking about it really in the front of our mind all the time. And the feelings, there's a certain fear that creates, like some kind of unrest within us. Because it's so subconscious. And it's like going around and around, like when is it going to stop? And you just keep going and going and going, then it stops. And that going and going is very often just distracting ourselves. We planning this life, looking for things in this life, you know. We're distracting ourselves, you know. We're just thinking about where we might go tonight. We don't think where we might go next life. How often do we really think that? And those little mini cycles that we go through all day long, 10 minutes before you're going to talk about it, You're going through another cycle that you can't break. You're trapped in this constant cycle and it's something that we don't want it to happen. You don't want it to happen. Who wants it to happen? Who wants something to happen that we don't like? I mean, I don't know. Tell me, is there anybody here that really wants something to happen that you don't like? So then why do we have them? Why can't we stop it? Because we don't understand where it's coming from. It's coming from your own mind. You know, we're always like reaching for something in the wrong way. Which way are you going to reach? What are you going to pick? You know, what choice of response are you going to do? You really do have a lot of choices. There's a billion choices. You know, we're always reaching in the wrong way. You'll reach a point where you start to reach out. And that's why I like this photo. You start to reach out and there's this hesitation. Oh, what do I do? That's good, actually. That's a good place to be. You know, and the temptation's still there. She's holding it up and their hands are just waiting. That's a good moment. We should pause like this all the time. You have enough of those pauses. And there it is. There's that donut. There's that choice. But you're pausing. That's good. Then decide what the right thing would be. Then you'll know it'll be automatic one day without even all this thinking and contemplating and analyzing. You'll be able to just be there for what somebody needs without even thinking about it. You'll do the exact right thing. So we can go to the wheel. The new wheel. This was painted in 2006 or 2005. I don't know. I didn't get the date. I've been waiting for her response by a student of Geshe Michael, and it's correct. We are actually first ones to see it. You should be very. She claims she's not an artist. I'm not going to say who she is because she didn't respond yet and tell me that whether she's anonymous or not. So, but, and you should always be thinking about that. Like I am showing you the different links in images that might resonate more with you in times that we are now. It's good to contemplate it, to try to figure out. There's probably one or two things that could still be corrected on there. I think. The teacher has said so, because it's always like that, you know what I mean? It's always one or two more things you have to get, but it's really the closest we have. So anyway, so we're in this wheel right now, and we are going to, because the most obvious thing is, I don't know, you tell me, but I think the most obvious thing in the whole wheel is this, is that creature reaching out. I mean, you see this wheel and all that, but there's something about that monster, creature, what do you want to call it, right? The Lord of Death. That really is the most striking in the painting. And he has the wheel in the grasp of his arms and also the feet, which is really shown very well here. You don't often see it. Sometimes the feet are just hanging. But the feet, like here, feet are just hanging. They're not really grasping it. Right? He should be grasping it with the feet and the arms, and the wheel is the belly. Right? Like he's holding everything inside the wheel, and I think is that a tiger skin? Yeah, he's supposed to be wearing a tiger skin, you know, to represent how, you know, ferocious he is, because he's got a tiger skin because he ripped it off a tiger. You know, he's a ferocious being. And first you want to think, okay, is it real? Is it this thing outside of us? Because we're inside here, right? Is it this monster that's like hovering around us, grabbing us, you know, from the back, you know, just sitting there on you? You think, or is it just like following us around wherever we go on the outside, some monster that we don't see in one of those realms we don't see? It's not an outside entity, right? So then is it this little thing inside of us, It's a metaphor. But this monster is born within you. The Lord of Death is born within you. It's formed at the time of conception. The moment you are conceived. It's like this, the death is an integral part of you, of your body. It's like this energy of force that's called death is born within you at the moment you are conceived. So it's something you're born with, and it's a certain energy that the moment you come into life, you will have to die, and it's this thing gnawing, just chewing and eating away at you. Eating the inside of the body, getting closer and closer to your heart, to your mind, and then that's it. He reaches there, and then you die. That's a little more he's cool looking, right? So it doesn't technically take an outside force to kill you. Okay? If there were no car accidents, no cancer, no AIDS, no I don't know. You tell me. I lost it. There's nothing outside, right? There's no disease, right? Murder, right? If you sat inside of it's a great image, like a bank vault, right? Because a bank vault is really like tight, sealed, right? Nothing can get through. Imagine there's air in there, right? Nothing can get through. You sat there for your whole life, you would die. You would age and die. Affected by nothing, touched by nothing. You would still die. Of course, they were feeding you good food, you have to. Each day that we live of our life is ripping out our insides. And that's the feeling you have to get with the Lord of Death. And it's good, right? I figured, why not start with the Lord of Death? It's because you have to get in the mood, right? It's this energy that's ripping away our lives. And we want to know what that energy is, and we want to get rid of it. But every time, every moment that we live is in the grasp of the Lord of Death, right? And the whole painting it helps us to understand how to get out of that. But we're in it, and we're tightly in it, and we're in it in a way that, I don't know. He doesn't look like the kind of guy I could talk into letting go. He'd probably be a lot of fun, but look at even those hands, like those nails, and you're in the grasp of him. You probably should talk to him. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to, just take a look at him and have a little conversation once in a while. Anyway, so last night we left on the links, and we're up to 8. Good. Someone's studying. I'm trying to fix this wire. Did I disconnect it? Oh, if I talk, then you'll know? Oh, you don't know? You don't have the earphones? That's it. I kept pulling on it. It's okay? All right. Okay, so I'm not going to review the first 7 because it's going to come up again, and we're going to do a little talk about it again just to save time. We're going to jump right into 8 as if we're starting from whatever. Okay? And you'll hear those who missed the first 7, will hear them in a moment. So we're up to number 8, which is, say, gepa, sepa. Gepa, sepa. Initial desire. So we're at the initial desire for the object. A general wanting something. Right after you get a feeling, of course, which is number 7, feeling about an object, and we've been talking about donuts. Once you get a feeling, you have a craving for it. Okay, the initial desire for the object. I like it, I don't like it. The next step is, after having a feeling. You know, that feels good, I like it. It's almost instantaneous, right? We can't tell in our normal days because we're having contact all the time with objects. And we're not so aware of how we have the contact, we have a feeling, and then we have this craving or, you know, not craving, right? But it's happening with every single object that we come into encounter with. And I don't think you can see here, so we're just gonna, no, he's not drinking. This one is not correct. There is some beer there, but the correct one is, the next one, is a guy drinking beer. This is what they painted. We have a girl with a big beer, but I think that's okay. So it's the initial desire. This is the traditional painting. And often you see them with someone pouring a beer, and then that guy it didn't look like he was drinking it. It was just on the side. This is in it, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Right? And the reason is that it indicates, you know, drinking alcohol, indicates that maybe there's some sort of trouble that may emerge on its way, you know, because alcohol does lower our inhibitions. You may not be as aware, as clear as you might be without it, you know. It lowers our, you know, doesn't keep us clearly aware of our body, speech, and mind, and our vows. You know, so this is where we're edging into a danger point with your initial desire. This is just an example. If you don't desire this, then that's not going to be a problem, but you need to know what it is that you desire. Okay, this is just a symbol. Find what yours is and have it be this big thing in your face. And what are you going to do? That's how close you are to it now, whatever it is that you desire. We have a couple. We had a little fun with this one. Thank you, Julie. This is also, you have 2 desires. They do multiply. Because usually when you're in one, another one will happen. That's why they started out with the initial desire, and we'll get into that in the next link. It's like you're misunderstanding where the object is coming from. That's the point, right? You're in the act, in the present moment, of misunderstanding your object. You think this pleasant sensation that you're going to get is due to the donut, the beer, right? You think that the last donut that you see comes from the donut shop, from flour, from the money you put down on the counter. That it didn't come from giving a donut to somebody. You didn't think that. We don't think that when we see it. We think, how well did they cook it? Is it fresh?
Can I ask a question? Is it the feeling you get from the actual giving of the donut, or is that something else? Like you get the donut because you gave a donut to somebody else, but the feeling you get from eating the donut, is it the same thing?
It's mostly your perception of you giving that you will get. Huh? Then the feeling with it adds to what kind of karma it might be. Who you were now then we can get into, it's a long story, then you can get into who are you giving the donut to? Would also change the karma. Did you just give it to the old lady that walked in behind you? Did you give it to an enlightened being? Did you give it to someone you didn't like? Did you give it begrudgingly? Like, ugh, I got to give that donut away. Yeah. What kind of feeling? So it does make a difference. But the impression is made you giving. And then the other stuff also adds to it. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes with that.
But how do you differentiate how much giving is appropriate?
You should.
for your karma?
There's no end to giving. There's no end to your kindness. There's no end. Because one day you will be able to do all that without running out of resources. Now, if you have no resources to give, then you can't give that particular thing you don't have, right? Don't go and steal it to get it to give. That would be not proper, right? You could imagine. It seems kind of silly, right? Well, I gotta give a donut. I can't get one. Maybe I ought to. Did anybody eat any of these donuts? Are you all afraid to eat it? Like, you know, we have to eat them.
To give them away.
What's that?
I was told not to.
Oh, you. Oh, interesting karma then. Told not to. And everybody's saying, there you go. We'll pass him out in a minute, but he has to have one. We'll go into strong desire, because then we get into this whole, that was just for fun. A friend of mine made me do it. Which will lead into the next one. Strong desire. This is where they start multiplying all those desires. So say, Gupa? Lenpa. Gupa Lenpa. Lenpa, strong desire. This one's pretty good. Yeah, it's supposed to be a monkey, except I don't know if those are flowers or fruit, but it's supposed to be taking fruit. In the tree, taking fruit. So you could turn to the next one. Remember the monkey, your crazy mind, your crazy monkey mind, turned into a person here, and it's fruit. So, so the next one is our wheel. So it's really a monkey, and it should be someone gathering flowers. It's in the ancient scripture that they would be gathering these flowers. So your crazy monkey mind is picking the flowers which are in full bloom, or fruit in full bloom, taking all you desire is right there, and you're in the midst of it. You're in the fields of it. You're in it. And your mind is not tamed at all. It has all the flowers to choose from. And you just go crazy in the fields, picking them all and taking them all. At that point, how many are you going to think about is the last flower or the one you're going to give to somebody? How many? Okay, you might get a handful, say, oh, now I can give someone, or something. You're in the midst of it. It's very hard to now kind of direct your mind. What am I going to do with them? That smells beautiful. They look beautiful. What are you going to do? It's like you're in that strong desire. It's like a advanced version of number 8, of the initial desire. And it's because you're in such a imbued with such desire, it's now becoming the motivation of how you're going to act. Like, are you going to take the donut? Are you going to take the flowers? What are you going to do with them? You should enjoy the flowers. You should enjoy the donut. That was good, right? Was the donut good? It was pretty good, right? You should enjoy it. You're supposed to enjoy things. Should you eat things you don't like? Not me. I draw the line there. Should you eat things you don't like? Should you, collect flowers you don't like or that you're like allergic to or something? What, because you shouldn't enjoy things? That's not the way it is. You should enjoy things. You must.
You give them away.
How are you going to enjoy them? How are you going to get more and more donuts? You give them away. You share them. You use them for a good purpose. But to think that you're getting that feeling, that pleasure from it as an object that has that inherent pleasure in it, that's wrong. That's what they're saying don't do. Don't be thinking you're going to get it from that object. But enjoy it. Enjoy life. You should. You don't want to suffer. Because once you're motivated by that very strong craving of something, you're motivated by that. It's going to trigger something. Think about it. How many times when you're in a very, very strong emotion that you're able to, number one, think that it's coming from your seeds that you planted. Number two, that you might, want to help somebody while you're all in a mental affliction or something, or it clouds your mind. Anytime you're frustrated, angry, hungry, enjoying all the donuts yourself, what else can you think about? So that moment is what's going to kind of throw you into the motivation, and it's going to trigger what seeds you have. That's the next link that we go into. It triggers the seeds that we have to ripen. Say chupa. Chupa. Sipa. Sipa. Chupa sipa. Chupa sipa. Ripe karma. Traditionally, it is a pregnant woman, but I find you really have to really stretch your eyes to see this little thing here. So we have our own, of course. Which is ripe karma, right? A seed has grown, which was planted in number 2, fresh karma. Remember the potter making the pots? That's why, also I thought this was pretty cool because it's what do you call it? A statue made from clay, pots. Yeah. All right, yeah, too much. Right? Come on, huh? Yeah. So it was planted way back in number 2, and it's so ripe that it's about to crack open. So you can, you can't really see, can you? You could see. Isn't that cool? It's about to crack open. Looks like it'll crack open, right? Just like an egg, right? It's like you're a farmer, and you plant the seed in the spring and you fertilize it, and all that kind of stuff, and then the seed is going to open. So that fertilizer and everything is all your repetitive acts, all the repetitive responses that you have to the same things that are happening to you. It's just about to, all those things are the fertilizer, the water and everything, that it's just going to flower. It's just going to crack open. That fresh karma and ripe karma, they're split apart by several links. There's a lot of things that go in there. Now, depending on how we're looking at it, does it happen in an instant or whatever, or over a period of life, etc. But it's very profound implications for us that we have that number 2 to number 10. You know, we've all made mistakes. We continue to. All day long, 10 minutes before class. But the fact that it has this like, what do you call it, the maturation time, you know, the fact that it takes time for a seed to crack open is good news. This is good news. Why? Because maybe we could do something in the meantime. You know, can you get into your mind and, you know, disable that seed from growing? You know, like in the movies where you see them, you know, the bomb is about to go off, right? And you know, good images like, you know, that they're so close to it. They're always like straddling over it or right on it, hovering over the bomb, you know, trying to disengage it. And, you know, it's ticking or it's counting down, and, you know, the guy is sweating, but he's remaining calm. He's really trying to carefully do it. And you're always thinking, like, it could just go at any second. But carefully, you can stop it from exploding, from ripening.
Is this saying that this karmic seed isn't going to ripen unless you have a desire for it?
Unless you have the triggers.
But
the two before are the triggers, 8 and 9.
Right, which are the desire.
It's
so
desire.
So you want it to ripen, even though it's something you may not have wanted the consequences for.
You should want the good things to ripen. And you should want what should be the desire for that.
But even something that seems pretty random.
Wow, random. Don't throw random into the wheel of life.
Okay, something you didn't want to happen.
Huh?
That seems random, or that you didn't want.
Oh, it'll always seem random.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
so what's your question?
There's a desire behind that. There's a desire behind that.
Behind which?
Excuse me.
What's a desire behind what?
The link before is desire.
Yes, you need that to trigger the bomb. Yes.
Right. So whatever happens, you want it to happen in some level.
Oh, if you could be that conscious of it, I don't know. I don't know. That's a subconscious thing, probably, if that's what you're saying. Yeah, because if you didn't want to happen, especially anyone that's kind of learning about it, if you didn't want it to happen, there's something you could do. You could disengage that, you know, the wires and everything from the bomb and stop it. So why don't you do it? You know, by the time you're here in the ripe karma, it's reached a link where the panic button is pushed. We're counting down. We're very close to that bomb exploding. In the ancient scriptures, there's and I share with you to plant the seeds, is that in the background, it would be where the pregnant, ripe woman would be. In the background would be, would be some vultures. And they're smiling. And you just got to think about that, and if they come, you won't know till later. So just think that, like, you have a unique opportunity, and they should be in the background just smiling, and the pregnant woman's there, right? So you can just visualize that. Maybe just go to the next one. I like the next guy. You can keep him in your mind. No? Yep, it's okay. The trick is here in this ripe karma, because we have 1 billion, I don't know, it's just a number, but it sounds big, right? 1 billion of seeds. Yeah, I never counted. I don't know what they say in the script. I can't remember. In the tiny drop of consciousness at your heart. And they could stay there as long as they don't ripen. And don't do anything. They can. If you, if you disable, disengage the wires, you can stop that attitude about the donut. right? You can shut it down. The trick is how you think about the donut, what makes it all kind of move. You know, what are you thinking at that time when the donut, that last donut is there and you see it? And you hear the old lady saying, I hope there's the pink one left, hon. And you see it, and it's the last one.
So the donut is any addiction or affliction?
It's just that object that you have contact with. And again, is it wrong to like the donut? He's like, no, I had one, I'm cool. And it's not wrong to like it, I enjoyed that. That was a good face. Nobody saw it, but he did a good face. He's like, it's not wrong. Right? You make contact with the object with your eye, let's say, or your tongue, or your ears, or your nose, you know, those doors. And you get a feeling of wanting it. Is it wrong to want it? You really have to think about it. Are you supposed to just sit there and look at these donuts and not touch them, you know, not eat them? And just stare at them? You know, like be like, what do they call it? Like stone, what do they say? Stone cold? Is that the word? Stone cold? I don't know. You know, cold stone? Ice cream? Wait. That sounds good. Now I'm getting there. Yeah, see, the donut is not as much for me. The ice cream, yeah. You had to mention it. Now I'm all like confused. What was I doing? Ice cream, stone cold, donuts. They're in front of you. Are you just supposed to like stare at them? You know, rearrange them? Like I just did. Looks good like that, right? Again, I have to say, you should enjoy them. You have to. Enjoy everything. And that's not the question. It's really not the question. Please enjoy life. Please enjoy getting out of suffering. Don't enjoy it. Make it last. That's the key. How do you make it last? How can you perpetuate endless enjoyment, bliss, donuts, ice cream, whatever it is for you? Make it last. You know, because these will wear out. They'll cause decay of your teeth. I don't know, that's what our parents always said. Don't eat sugar, your teeth. You don't see it till years later, so you never really got that one, right? That's like karma ripening. You don't get that. You know, sugar's going to hurt your teeth. Well, nothing's happening, right? If they would have fallen out at that time, you would have got it. Right? Or the donuts, maybe you're going to gain 10 pounds if you eat the whole plate. You know, that doesn't happen right away either. So you're not going to, it's hard for us to really, that's karma. It's actually karma. You know, how long it takes to ripen. Self-perpetuating, happy, upward cycle is what we want. We want to avoid the downward cycle, the disappearing donuts. This wheel describes the downward cycle. It's not till you're out of it that you're up. You're out of it, above it. But during the time that you planted the seed, because the moment that you take the donut and you plant the seed, right, of taking that last donut, of seeing yourself taking, not giving, because you're aware you're not giving, especially in that moment that we described, because you're aware someone wants it right behind you. So you're aware you're taking, not giving. That moment, you know, you continue to misunderstand where it came from. If you want donuts, if you want that last donut, what do? You give them away. Okay? You just give them away. It's really not some kind of big, you know, what do you say, noble thing. You know, oh, I'm going to give the donut, you know. It's not really a huge morality thing. You know, really. it's how the universe works. You give, and then you perpetuate that kind of thing happening again and again. You know, so if you understand that, then you can then you make it the most important thing you do. You give it. You know, as long as your mind is in that kind of a mindset, that short circuits the negative karma to ripen. Where he's waiting. He's waiting. Will it ripen or will it not? You know, he's waiting. You know, you have to think like that. Like link number 10 is about to give birth any minute. And if you can change your worldview, then you not only grab donuts in the future, but all the donuts you grabbed were canceled. Because you disengaged it, right? So, on that note, you gotta pass these around now. Ooh, that's heavy.
It's a lot of donuts.
Actually, there's probably not enough there, and there's more.
Yeah. Well,
You like have a burning question back there.
wasn't there?
Wait a minute, wait, hold it. Stop. You gotta take the donuts. Well, everybody's just passing the plate. Wait, take a donut. Jordan, take a donut. I know you'll take one. Break the cycle here. Thank you. Hang on. You know what to do. Yes. Figure it out. What's your question?
The desire wasn't there at link number 2 when you planted the karma? It seems like
No, not necessarily.
the desire in links 9 and 10.
Mhm.
Is that another desire that triggers the seed you plant, or that's a desire related to that?
Every time you have a result, you have a cause for the next action. So the result is what?
New cause?
At the time. I threw it into you. I gave it back to you in a different way.
I'm just confused by the process of making contact with it.
You didn't do what you were supposed to do. Huh? No, you should have done something before that. Do it now. No. Say it again.
The process of making contact with an object, getting a feeling, getting a craving, having a desire to take it. That's actually what plants the fresh karma, isn't it? Because
That's a new karma, based on the karma that was planted before.
you actually take the donut only after you have the desire for it, right? It's not that you
No,
take,
no, no,
then you have
no,
a feeling,
no.
then you have a desire, and then it's like all these things happening in a split second, and then you take it, then you plant the karmic seed.
It's happening at both times. Do I need desire to just grab the donut? I need to be seeing it as something that exists from its own side. That's the ignorance. You see? Just think about it for a while. You're not wrong. You're not right. That's where we say you should go and debate it for an hour or two. And you should really be thinking exactly what he's saying. Wait a minute, when is that new seed being planted? Where is the desire when I'm grabbing that? You should be thinking that. Is it dependent on just desire? Like if I have no desires, will I still, not grab the donut? Is that a new seed ripening, or is it an old seed ripening, or is it a new seed planting? You should be thinking that. Now, if you're thinking that at the moment of the action, trust me, what's going to happen? We'll go back to no, not that you have to. The first photo in our minds, when the donut is there, and your hand is as close, and you're thinking, wait, is this the old seed, the new seed? Which one? That's good. This is good. This is where you should be. Exactly thinking that. That's why I'm kind of not answering your question. So you can just be there in that moment, just thinking about that. Which is it? This is good. Because right away, he didn't even get a donut yet. Because he's so busy thinking. You should give him a donut. Make sure he gets one. You have to take one and you give it away. See, he's like, oh no. And then he'll be doomed to have donuts handed to him that he doesn't want for the rest of his I'll leave you all with that. Okay, next one. That was good. Say, is there? Chuchikpa? Kepa. Kewa. Kewa. Sorry. A woman having a baby. This is birth. So you could move to the next one because you can't really see it. And this is kind of a thing happening there. But you also can't really see it, so we'll go to ours. With the lighting, you can't really see it, but we'll stay there for a while. Just for a minute. Maybe you could focus. But this is the birth, right? Karma born, right? It is now ripened. The seed that has ripened will also trigger the next action, right? Because it's ripened. Every moment there is a seed ripening. There's something ripening every moment because that's what it takes, all those ripenings to have your life. You need some water? So we don't think, in general, we're not thinking I don't know, we didn't really grow up with the idea of like this whole rebirth. Many people here might have, but most people haven't in America. I think more people are. Actually, I think things are making a little bit of a shift. What are the odds that it could happen? It's like if it happened once, why can't something happen again? How many things in our lives do happen once and again and again and again? So this one thing, this big thing, is not going to happen again? Just that will not happen again? Oh, I die, that won't happen? Like, why why that? When we know that all this other stuff is going to happen again and again, I'm going to be in that same kind of relationship again and again. That same kind of job, that same boss, that same thing, again and again. So why all of a sudden, why this big thing, I'm going to die, why should we think I won't be born again and again? What are the odds that, and then you think, well, then what are the odds that if I am, then what are the odds that I might be born a human again and again? It's another way of looking at it, you know. So when the ripe karma is ready to burst, unless you have disengaged some of the seeds, you have the ones which they're armed at this point, and you know, and to know how to disarm them, you know, when they're about to burst is really hard. If you don't, then it goes to the next link, which is, say, Chu Nipa, Gashi. And that's our aging and death. So in this picture, let's see. Oh yeah, this one's pretty good actually. Well, there's two things that go on in this, and the one part is not very clear, but it should be in. I think they say two people. Yeah, there should be two people in the painting. One is an old man with a stick, and then one is a person carrying a dead body, which is here. And you can see the knees and the feet and the head. It's a sky burial, is traditional what they used to do. So you could just go to here is, what are those? There's our waiting vultures that are now got something on their mind. Anyway, so here you could see the body tied. And they call it a sky burial, and what they would do is they carry the body up to a mountain, you know. So this is the body being carried. What's the other one? I don't remember what we have. Oh, we just have a picture of an old man because it's missing. So we could show that for a while. We could leave it on him. Because it's missing in the paintings. So there should be this kind of a man with the other painting, which is very good. The color one is very good. So it'd be nice if he was like standing right there. Yeah, like that. If I had time, you wouldn't want to know what I wanted to do. Like, you know, kind of insert him into the... yeah. Aging and dying are together for, it's like, you could say that aging is one thing and dying is a different thing, and why aren't there 13 links? But this link is the act of getting old and dying, right? And it's purposely put into one because some people die in the womb. So it's not like you can be guaranteed that you're going to get old and die. But it does represent a specific stage, okay? Because some people don't get there to be able to die young and old. Like there is no order to death. But everybody will go through some form of death. And the traditional way of what the tanka is, and I think it's really, is what happens is, there you are. That's the end of your body. Your mind is not attached to the body. It has a relationship with your body, but it is not attached to it. Your mind goes on. I mean, we have a different way, you know, we have a different way of, you know, we call it funeral homes. It's like you put you go to a home. The mind is gone, but you send the body to a home. You know, it's a little different feeling, I think, that we experience. But to understand it in this way, I think there's a certain, we need to look at it this way a little bit. I mean, that's what the tanka is showing us. This is actually what would be in the tanka. And here are the waiting vultures. They knew during the, what was it, ripe karma, they knew that you would be dying soon. It's like, you know, when things are ripening at that time, that your death is coming soon. That's why you have to disengage it before it ripens. Because once you're in that, then you're in the cycle. You're in the cycle. You can go. And then you're gone. And then you go back. Right? That throws us right back into our ignorance. But there's a couple of little things in between, which we will get into, the lives in between. But first, what I want to do is, we're going to look at it, the wheel of life, in, we'll do an instant first, in an instant. How these links happen in an instant. Like that. All these 12 links. We went over, it was what? 3 lifetimes? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now it's, say, Kechik. May. Tenjol. Kechik May. Tenjol. It's dependent origination in an instant. The mini cycle. Every moment. Right? So unfortunately, not only we're stuck in this cycle throughout our lifetime, but we're stuck in the cycle every instant of our existence. Of all those links that we went through. So the first one, and this is where, if you weren't here yesterday, you get to hear the links again. So the first one is what? Ignorance, right? So we're back at the donut store. Right? And you have the last donut there. They're in the office, but that's cool. We can go with that. There's our pink donut. We don't even have a last donut. We have last 2 donuts. How's that?
Another one here.
Huh?
Another one.
Another one there? See, you're all like, nervous to eat that last donut. You're saving. You give them away now. Make sure. I didn't even have any of mine. Wow. Oh, the pink one. Smart. There's no ice cream on it though, right? You're in the store, or you're at the office, you're like these guys, right? There's 2 people wanting that donut. It's there. And there's only 1 donut left. What do you do at that moment, right? We're in ignorance, the first link. This is instant, right? You have a base ignorance about the donut in that instant, right? You think the pleasure comes from, the donut. Somehow it's inside there. It's inside it. Somehow inside this, there's something in there, the sugar, the sprinkles or something, it's squeezed, it's fresh. There's something in there that's going to be really pleasant. You think so, just inherently. Self-existent. So you grasp to that. In your mind, you're grasping first, right? To that kind of thinking. And you think it's going to be the whole answer to pleasing you at that moment. At that moment, because otherwise you wouldn't have walked into the store. You would have been in another store for some other object. Or somewhere else, right? So and because, what's the proof that it even is good? Because I know, there's 2 donuts left. There are people in this room that do not like donuts. So all this talk about desire for the donuts, I mean, what's the proof that it's even good? You know? Well, really, that's a proof that it doesn't always taste good. There's there's three. There's three left.
I think there's people on diet.
They're on a diet.
Yeah.
Well, there's proof that the donut is not good for you. Right. Not only unenjoyable, but they're thinking, I'd like to have it, but I'm on a diet, I can't have it. So it's not like a good thing. It's a bad karma ripening because you see it as this bad thing. Okay, so yeah, well, so that's a proof that not everybody liking the donut or they can't have the donut proves that it doesn't necessarily taste good. Also, if you yourself, one who likes donuts, are not feeling well, maybe you're sick, maybe somebody just died, where you don't want to eat, and you look at those donuts, you're like, well, I can't, It's not always good, not even for you who like them. So there is no inherent goodness in this donut all by itself. I mean, that's just a simple way to prove it. There is nothing inherently existent about it that is good. That goes for every object that you think is that. If you're having to stretch with the donut, you find that one thing that you think for sure, that beach is good. Every time, rain or shine, you go to the beach, it's good. Sharks in there, everything cool, I'll stay on the edge, it's good. Every time. Till the tsunami comes, and suddenly you're thinking, oh my God, still good, I'm going back. I'm going to the ocean, still good. Didn't happen to me, I didn't see it, I'm going back to the ocean. Right? It's always good. Very hard to understand that. Very hard. It self-existently has that goodness about it, that pleasure for you.
Projected pleasure, your projection?
Either way. Of course, if you see it as your projection, then it no longer is self-existent. You have to understand that you are seeing it as something good based on your own good deeds. Right?